good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Gabi Awad, your host for today's show, Buying Customers. Some know me as the coach on wheels because I have a YouTube channel where I coach while riding on my motorcycle. Check it out, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell for notification. As a business and executive coach, I help business owners, leaders, and teams grow, and I achieve this by business re-education, coaching them, mentoring them, and giving them business advice. My mission is to help businesses and leaders grow. By the way, this show is hosted on ibgr.network. It is also broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and uh, Twitter. By the way, we would love to hear from you in real time during our show. If you are listening live or listening to one of the recordings, you can always connect and interact with us on social media or by using the IBGR app for Android and iOS. Just search IBGR on Android Play or Apple Store, and then you can listen to current programming, on-demand podcasts, read the show notes. By the way, you can download them from ibgr.network, and stay current on IBGR news and connect with us on air. You can take IBGR with you wherever you go. If this is your first time listening, welcome, and if you are a returning listener, welcome back. In this Buying Customers show, episode 3 of season 4, we are going to talk about goal setting and how to achieve them in business, in marketing, in sales, and in life in general. You can reach our website at ibgr.network and download the show notes. Like always, we will be providing you with an action plan for you at the end that you can implement immediately in your life and your business. If you don't know where you're going, you are already there. Amazing quote. If you won't know your destination, how are you going to get there? Let's talk about destination mastery. Destination mastery is all about clarity. Where I am now, where do I want to get to in the long run, in the medium run, and in the short term? What's my plan? How will I track my progress? Who will be doing what, when, how? Sounds easier said than done. The fact is only 3% of us have written goals, and these have more than 80% of the world's wealth, according to a study made on the internet. We should always start with our why, our purpose, our reason to be. We exist, and then the other pieces fit together smoothly when we know our why, like when the who, the where, the how, the what, etc. Everything fits in. But first, we should start with our why. A company's vision is the top of the mountain. Where do the business want to go? And the mission is the road to get there. How are we going to achieve it? Now, the goals are the staging posts, the milestones along the way, so that we are sure that we are on the right track. And values or team culture statements are about what kind of people do we want to bring with us on that journey. If goals are the milestones that will help us confirm that we are on the right track to achieve our vision, then how to know what we want? How to put them into verbal, achievable sentences? How to make them specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound? This is goal setting, and we are going to talk about that in details today. The challenge is always to set our goals, but the bigger challenge is to achieve them. It takes courage and discipline. However, it doesn't have to be that difficult. If you listen till the end of the show today, I will provide you with the resources, the tools, and an action plan. Simple resources, tools, and simple action plan that will put you on the right track. But your journey starts with you being intentional about your changing behavior, your mindset. Unless you change your behaviors and you dedicate yourself to the way you think, act, and do stuff, you will not be able to achieve your goals. One key resource is the vision board or the dream chart. If you never had the chance to do one, it's an amazing exercise. Start there and come up with images from the web of things you want to achieve, things you want to own, trips you want to make, success you want to achieve, etc. Make a collage and set it as your computer wallpaper. Look at it every day for the next 365 days. Those are your dreams. Next, we need to set achievable goals to help us achieve these dreams. A great way to making dreams come true is IVVM. I for idealization. The first V is visualization. The second V is for verbalization. And M for materialization. Idealization of your dreams. Most people ask for too little in life. Today, I'm asking you to ask for more. Ask for something bigger and better for yourself and your career and your business and your life in general. You choose your reality, good or bad, with the seeds you plant in your mind each and every day. So stretch your mind with possibilities. Focus on your ideal, not your standard or average. Choose that it is already yours. Remember, want means you focus on what you lack rather than what you choose. Therefore, you push it away. Visualization. Now, visualize what is already yours. Imagine your business in your mind 3 years from now. How does it look? Is it important to believe? It is important to believe, especially when it feels like it's not working. Focus on the images and plant the right seeds in your mind. You can follow this routine if you want to plant the seeds. Relax every day, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, or any space during the day. Picture your ideal as it is already true. Imagine the feelings you would have, the smells that you will feel if you are already there. Believe that it is already yours. Remember, your subconscious cannot decide what's real and what's wrong. So keep planting those seeds. Verbalization. Now make your affirmations list. 20 positive I am statements. I am in the process of becoming the best coach in my region. I am in the process of becoming the best business in my community. About yourself, about your business, as you choose it to be. Repeat those affirmations, those I am statements, at least twice a day with passion. You must state it in the present tense for it to work, or in the process of becoming. But be passionate. The more often you do it, the better it works, believe me. A dream chart and a list of goals might come up handy at this stage. Just a list with no dates, no commitments, no measures, no prioritization. Now M, materialization of your dreams. The seeds you plant in your mind will grow and will manifest. But do it with more energy and passion to bring your goals about faster. You must truly believe and energize your reticular activating system for this to work. Remember, you can only do what you are, and you are what you think. So visualize often. Let's talk about the reticular activating system, or RAS. See, your RAS is your compass for your brain, and goals set the compass. The reticular activating system, or RAS, is a bundle of nerves at our brainstem that filters out unnecessary information so the important stuff gets through. The RAS is the reason you learn a new word and then start hearing it everywhere. It's why you can tune out a crowd full of talking people, yet immediately snap attention when someone says your name or something that at least sounds like your name. Let me tell you the story where my wife and I were shopping for her next car. See, my wife hates change, but when she finally agreed to change her car due to high cost of maintenance, we went and started shopping for cars at dealerships. After like 4 dealerships, we landed at the Subaru place, and we came across a crossover SUV that we had never seen before on the roads. We took it for a test drive and we fell in love with it. After we left the dealership and while headed back home, we saw 3 similar models on the road. Strange. Why we didn't notice it before that? Well, this is where your RAS kicked in. It's because we loved it and we put our minds into buying it, and we did finally. See, when you put your mind into something, you are bound to achieve it. So you should start with listing your goals on paper. Visualize you are achieving them and tell all people around you about what you are going to do, and let the power of attraction kicks in. In chapter 1 of his book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, John Maxwell talks about the law of intentionality. And he says, growth doesn't just happen, you have to learn it. Do you have a plan to grow? Personal growth is not a natural process in most people's lives. John says, if you focus on goals, you may hit the goals, but that doesn't guarantee growth. If you focus on growth, you will grow and always hit growth. The difference between goals and growing is the process, the journey, and the commitment. It takes courage, humility, and discipline. And John also talks about the growth gap traps that you are going to discuss later on. See, those are traps that will hinder you from achieving your goals. But now we are going to take a short 2 minutes break, and when we return, we will continue with goal setting and achievement. If you are looking for more one-on-one help to grow your business, check out our website directory of vetted professionals in all 4 of our market segments. Go to ibgr.network, go to Home tab, Us tab, then choose your market segment, then select a host to help you. You have been listening to Buying Customers, and today is about setting and achieving goals on IBGR Network. I am Gabi Awad, and we will be back after a short break. We are back, and you are listening to IBGR.network. I am your host, business and executive coach Gabby Awad, and in this episode of our Buying Customers Journey, we are discussing the importance of setting goals and achieving them in business. Whether you are a business owner, a sales professional, or any individual really, you can go to our website at ibgr.network and download the show notes. Growth Gap Traps. John Maxwell, in his book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, first chapter talks about the law of intentionality and mentions these growth gap traps that everyone have them, and you have to be aware of them and not to fall in. The first gap trap is the assumption gap. I assume that I will automatically grow. If one assumes he or she will automatically grow, what is likely the outcome? How can one know if they are growing or not? They won't. The second gap is the knowledge gap. I don't know how to grow. Not knowing how to grow can be a powerful reason to simply not try to even grow. If one does not know how to grow, then one needs to ask for help. 3, the timing gap. It's not the right time to begin. See, the law of diminishing intent says the longer we wait to begin our journey, the more chances there are our intent will diminish to start. Here again, we fall victims of blames and excuses not to start. What do you think about the idea of starting your journey even though you are scared and unprepared? Just jump and build your wings on your way down. Fourth gap is the mistake gap. I'm afraid of making mistakes. Remember, growing is not always a clean and neat pursuit. Ask yourself, what would you attempt if you knew you would not fail? See, once we decide to grow, we must expect mistakes and welcome them as a sign that we are moving in the right direction. The fifth gap is the perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I start. While the mistake gap is actually saying I cannot move out of fear of making mistakes, the perfection gap says I will move only when I have the perfect plan. Both are simply excuses for not starting at all. The best plans for growing happen as we grow, not before we grow. The sixth gap is the inspiration gap. I don't feel like doing it. Out of all these gaps, this is the one that requires a simple decision. Will I do it or not? The major difference between those who did it and those who don't do it is those who did it actually do it. 7, the comparison gap. Others are better than me. Well, there are 2 truths about others. There is always someone better than you. And second, rejoice for the better ones, for you will learn from them. But someone may be already looking to you as the better one. And finally, the 8th gap is the expectation gap. I thought it would be easier than this. I love this formula. Listen, there's no luck. So preparation for growth, multiplied or added to the attitude, the right attitude to grow, plus the opportunities that come along, plus the actions, doing something about it, equals luck. See, if Rome was not built in one day, how long are you willing to give yourself to grow? Growing starts with preparation. And if you are now hearing this show, then this is part of your preparation. Start making your plan now. To make the transition to intentional growth, you need to first ask the big questions. Where I am now, where I want to be, how should I go there? Then do it now and face your fear factor. Change from accidental to intentional growth. See, an accidental growth individual plans to start tomorrow, Monday. Intentional growth individuals insist on starting now. Accidental waits for growth to come. Intentional takes responsibility to grow. Accidental learns only from mistakes. Intentional learns before mistakes. Accidental depends on good luck. Intentional relies on hard work. Accidental quits early and often. Intentional perseverance along hard work, etc. Accidental falls into bad habits. Intentional fights for good habits. Accidental talks big. Intentional follow through. Accidental plays it safe. Intentional take risks. Accidental thinks like a victim. Intentional thinks like a learner. Accidental relies on talent. Intentional relies on character. Accidental stops learning after graduation. Intentional never stops learning. Want to really grow? Take some time and write out a growth plan on paper to address each gap we discussed earlier. And take the first steps today to grow. Look at your calendar for the next year. Schedule specific, timed, and focused growth plans. If you think you don't have the time to schedule something else, imagine what last year could have looked like if you had scheduled plans for growth. I bet you it was full of growth. Remember, growth is not a goal by itself, but a lifelong process that must start with being intentional. While scheduling growth time may seem simplistic, it is the beginning of action intentionality. So if you have the assumption gap, then you have to be intentional about your growth. If you have the knowledge gap, gain that knowledge to make the growth. If you have the timing gap, then start today, start now. The longer you wait to do something you should do today, the greater the odds that you will never actually do it. It's called the law of diminishing intent. If you have the mistake gap, then expect to make mistakes every day and welcome them. If you have the perfection gap, you need to get started to find the best way. And if you have the expectation gap, well, it all starts with preparation, though it takes time to prepare, but it will change your life, believe me. Another simple but efficient exercise I facilitate on my clients is the start, stop, keep exercise. I ask each participant in the room to write the things in business that they think they should start doing, the things that they should stop doing, and the things that they believe they should keep on improving. Then I ask everybody to write individually every idea on their mind on a sticky note and place it on the wall under start column, stop column, or keep column. I do this with flip charts. Now, the next person follows and so on and so forth until the end. Everyone have read what others think could be improved in the business. And I take the whole thing to the decision makers and show them the improvement opportunities that their team came up with. Let's talk about self-mastery. It all starts with self-mastery. And self-mastery is about eliminating chaos in your life and in business. To achieve this self-mastery, you need to master your destination, your time, your stakeholders, your financials, your communication, your projects, your tasks, your daily routines, your goals. Whew, there's a lot. Focusing on your growth plan will put all pieces of the puzzle smoothly together. The idea is to focus, and you eliminate chaos by focusing. Every task that comes along should be assessed. Ask yourself how this task helped me achieving my goals and contribute towards my growth plan and my success eventually. If not, you need to consider putting it on the back burner. If yes, then focus on it, prioritize it, and add it to your to-do list. See, every task should be linked to your list of goals. Keep the list simple and for the next 90 days only. Then decompose the goals into smaller, more manageable tactical goals. For example, I want to reach my yearly sales target of $100,000. Take that number and decompose it in 4 quarters. Now, to reach a 25K US dollars per quarter, what are my tactical goals? 1 could be learning how to cross-sell and upsell. 2 could be learning the sales process and challenge it or improve it. Three could be brainstorming new sales objections techniques. See, all these are goals you want to achieve in the next 90 days. After you have done that and made sure that these goals are smart, go ahead and decompose them into activities in one-to-many relationships. One goal to many activities. For example, to better handle new sales objections, I need to list all new objections. Next, meet with sales team to discuss ways to overcome them. 3, draft and develop tools and strategies in my sales process. 4, try the new objection handling strategies on existing clients. Simple. We are now going to take another short 2 minutes break, and when we return, we will continue with tools and techniques to set goals, and next we will discuss some strategies that will help you achieve them. Let's get social on the new IBGR app. You can chat with our mentoring groups in the chat tab or interact in the app social group. You have been listening to Buying Customers on IBGR Network. I am Gabi Awad, and we will be back after a short break. We are back and you are listening to IBGR Network. We are more than a radio station, we are a network. And I am your host, Gabi Awad, for Buying Customers. In this episode, we are discussing the importance of having this goal-setting mindset in the business. You can go to our website at ibgr.network and download the show notes. Now that you have seen the gaps to growth intentionality, let's dig deeper into how to set goals. Goals are the north direction of your reticular activating system, RAS. When you think of what needs to be done and you write them down, group them, prioritize them, and put an action plan towards achieving them, then you are on the right path towards achieving them. Of course, when you think about goals, they have to be smarter goals, not smart even. As for specific, don't just say, I am going to write LinkedIn articles. Set a time frame, set a word count goal, set mini milestones. Think, I'm going to write 10,000 words worth of article during this year. Smart, M for measurable. Break your goals into some quantifiable units like words, hours, kilometers, etc. Smart, A for achievable or attainable. Don't just choose a goal because it looks grand or ambitious or because everyone else is doing it this way. Set goals which are realistic for your schedule, your personality, your business, your growth pace, your career. This is a big reason many plans fail. They simply aren't realistic to achieve. Please, please, please don't self-sabotage. Setting unrealistic goals can cause frustration and lack of motivation. Smart goals are for relevant. Ask yourself, is this something you really want to do or really need to do? Whatever your goal is, make sure it means something to you, to your business, to your strategic goals. If you lack a resource or skill to get it done, refrain yourself from it. Give yourself the best chance of achieving your goals. Smart goals. T for time-based. Set a time frame. Be both realistic and flexible with this one. You're not meant to feel like you are racing the clock, but you are not working for an indefinite amount of time on this goal. Now, I mentioned smarter goal. Do you know what E and R means at the end? To me, E stands for evaluate. You have to take time to set intermittent, achievable milestones and to evaluate those goals. The objective is to make sure you will be achieving these. Assess the challenges along the way and handle the obstacles and make sure if you continue this way, you will attain this goal. If not, maybe you have the chance to bring something, to bring a resource, to equip yourself with a new skill to achieve it. Smarter goal. R at the end is for revisit and realign. At the end of the time set for the goal, if you achieve it, then ask what's next. And if you did not achieve it, ask why and challenge the reasons why you failed. Then realign your new set of goals to your business and personal objectives. Don't set goals like, we need to bring more customers through the door. Rather, a smarter goal would say, we are going to increase our leads by 200 from now till June 2021. This is a smart goal. It is specific, because 200 leads. Measurable, we have our CRM data to measure it. Achievable, we brought 150 leads last quarter, so yes. Relevant, because we now need to increase sales and cash flow. And time-based, 90 days from today. And you have to think with the end in mind. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey talks about habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. This means you need to understand and estimate the end result. Begin with the end in mind means to begin each day, each task or project with a clear vision of your desired direction and destination, and then continue by re-evaluating and aligning to your goals to make things happen. For your goals to be relevant, you have to strategize most of the time when setting goals. Think what is your ultimate goal and then break it down into smaller, measurable, and achievable goals. Begin with the end in mind. Don't just think about where you want to go, but take the time to consider how you plan to get there as well. And don't worry, planning still leaves lots of room for inspiration to hit. When that happens, incorporate it into your plan. And your 90 days plan is the right tool to be focused on the next 3 quarters and just keep the process going. What goal areas you think about? Ask yourself anything really. Areas like your business, your career, your department, your team, your KPIs, your leadership, training, communication, you and your growth, personal goals, family goals, hobbies. Goals have to be thought of on paper. There has been a study that says only 3% of people have written goals and plans. These people account for 98% of the study population wealth. Some 27% have verbal goals, but this is not enough. Verbal goals are dreams with no set dates and time. 70% of the study population have no written or verbal goals whatsoever. In which percentile would you rather be if that depends on your success? Now, from the PERT technique, or program evaluation and review technique, that was developed in the 50s by the US Navy during the Cold War, breaking down your goals involves simple steps. First, identify the activities and the milestones. So what will you achieve? Now, how are you going to achieve it and when? Now, sequence the activities or tasks. Link activities with their logical sequences and dependencies. What activities should come before? What other activities should be completed at the same time? What is the slack time between each activity? Is this activity dependent on another activity? And then estimate time for each one, and resources and cost, etc. And come up with the critical path, which is the linkage between all possible path between the start and finish date of a project or an activity. This is the longest path between start to finish. This is the path where every activity on it have zero float or slack. It cannot be delayed, meaning it cannot be, it will delay the whole project or goal in our example. Let's take an example of how to PERT our goals. Let's say our goal is to increase turnover or sales by 30% from 100K to 130K in the coming year, in 12 months. Well, let's start by breaking down the goal. This is an increase of $30,000 per year, or $576 per week if we divide by 52. If our average dollar sale is $150, we need then to generate an additional dollar sale in that week on a consistent basis to achieve this goal, or increase our average dollar sale to 200 and make an additional 3 sales in the week over and above our average turnover. This is great. Now let's develop the strategies and the tactics to reach this goal. Let's develop a referral strategy to bring, let's say, a minimum of 1 referral per week. Let's also develop a number of test mailing campaigns that will bring in a minimum of 3 additional clients per month. Also, we will draft an upselling script to increase the average dollar sale. Let's put prices up on specific items. Let's bundle product A and product B to increase our average value of sale. See, it becomes easy when you break down the elephant into small pieces. To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. It means to know where you are going so that you better understand where you are now and so that the steps you take are always in the right direction. To make the most of your business over the following 12 months, you need to target your destination. Here's your chance today to tell yourself where that should be. We are in the second week of January. It's the right time to think of these goals. You need to address both your end goals and your performance goals. End goals are final outcomes you want to achieve in a year, for example. This is rarely within our control, and it should be supported by what we call performance goals. A performance goal is a goal against which to measure the accomplishment, a clear, concise statement of anticipated results. It identifies the performance levels you believe will provide you with a good chance of achieving the end goal. This is largely in your control, and it should be measurable. In fact, the performance goals need to be not only smart, but also pure and clear. Pure, P-U-R-E, P for positively stated, U for understood, R for relevant, and E for ethical, pure. And they have to be clear. C for challenging, L for legal, E for environmentally sound, A for appropriate, and R for recorded, clear. We are now going to take another short 2 minutes break, and when we return, we will do more of the strategies that will help you achieve your goals. We will do also a recap and leave you with an action plan. Don't forget that you can always connect and interact with us on social media or using the IBGR app for Android and iOS.